This morning I woke up and my shoulder was popped out of place.
What'd you do?
Popped it back in.
Oh. Hello everyone, my name is Tommy.
I'm Mackenzie.
And welcome back to Backstage Thoughts. Today we're going to be discussing some very common Disney myths and rumors you may have heard. And we'll talk about whether they are true, whether they are false, whether they're somewhere in the middle. If there are any rumors or myths that you've heard that you want to know the truth about, that we don't mention in this video, leave them in the comments, and of course we will reply to you with any insight we may have.
Okay, Tommy, the first myth is tunnels under Magic Kingdom.
Okay, yeah, so this one is 100% true, although I'm sure there are some creepypastas and stuff out there that exaggerate things, like no one's like
I've heard my favorite creepypasta about the tunnels under Magic Kingdom.
What's that?
This kid, his family won a free tour of the Utilidor, and his family was all murdered while they were on their free tour. Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah, plenty of murder happens down there, plenty of brainwashing happens down there. Those are all obviously totally real. No, I'm kidding, obviously. It's really not that exciting down there, but yeah, they exist. Essentially, what you do if you're a cast member that works at Magic Kingdom, you park at a parking lot called West Clock, assuming you can actually find a parking spot, and then you have to take a bus over. They have just like a continuous loop of buses constantly coming to pick you up from the West Clock parking lot and to drive you over to the entrance to the Utilidor. And the entrance is actually opposite of where guests enter. So guests enter down at the beginning by Main Street. The Utilidor entrance is behind Fantasyland, or I guess underneath Fantasyland. Sorry, I have a lot of yawns right now.
I guess, alright,
Can you keep a yawn count?
No.
I think it'd be funny.
Maybe.
See what you mean.
I'm sorry if I'm that boring that I'm making you fall asleep. But yeah, Utilidor itself, not really that interesting. I guess the coolest thing about it is the fact that the walls are color-coded, so you know what part of the park you're under. So, Fantasyland, the walls are pink, I believe. Adventureland, I think they're, orange. Tomorrowland, they're, purple or something. I don't know. I was never really in Tomorrowland because I worked in Adventureland. But the walls are color-coded based on which part of the park that you're in. So if you get lost, you can just look around and be like, all right, I'm under Fantasyland right now, or I'm under Tomorrowland right now. As far as what actually goes on down there, it's mostly just a mode of providing a walkway or transportation of, getting where you need to be in the park, right? So you pop up right wherever you're going, you just have a brief walk across. For me, I worked at Pirates, so we popped up, those big tall doors that are opposite of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That's where we would come out of. We would come out of those doors, we'd walk up the stairs, come out of those doors, and I'd just walk across the walkway, and I'd be at Pirates. There is a cafeteria called the Mouseketeria. They have a grill there, and they have a Subway, so you can get food there. There are also a couple of other break rooms or little places you can get food where they have food that's pre-prepared, like salads and sandwiches and stuff like that. There are offices, a bunch of offices down there. There are people that kind of just work in the Utilidor. If they deal with stuff I don't know, training or staffing and stuff like that, they have offices down there, and that's kind of their home base. There are a couple of computer labs that they use for training and stuff like that. Actually, one of the computer labs that we were in, where I did part of my training, apparently is the room, it was a soundproofed room, and it was the room where a lot of the sounds that you hear around the park were recorded. Things like safety spiels, audio from various rides and things like that, so that was pretty cool.
It's soundproofed.
So they don't have any sounds from outside getting in?
No, it's so that the people inside, you can't hear their screams outside as they're being brainwashed.
As they're being brainwashed, of course.
I think we're up to 6.
6 what?
7.
Oh. There are also changing rooms when you first get in case you need to change into or out of your costume. There are lockers, both in the changing rooms and also just scattered throughout. Certain people can rent lockers and stuff to store their belongings. There's just kind of various merchandise and food items all over the place. If you're underneath where there's a restaurant, they probably have a million bottled waters, bottled sodas, all sorts of stuff like that. even like pallets of like buns and stuff, like just all over the place. Kind of has like warehouse vibes. So there is actually music playing down there, like regular music, not Disney music. And I don't know who has the aux. I don't know who controls the music, but I've heard some wild things coming over that speaker system. There was one time I was coming out of work at like midnight. All right, I was walking through the Utilidor back to where the bus is to drive me to West Clock where my car is. And at midnight, whoever was in control was playing like the Cotton Eye Joe.
It was the mouse. He was getting down.
Like, who's doing the Cotton Eye Joe in the Utilidor at midnight? That's the other thing. A lot of people say Utilidors. Looking at you.
I've corrected myself.
It's
You've corrected me many a time.
It's the Utilidor. It's singular. Another interesting thing about the music and the sounds of the Utilidor, if there is a trash compactor, a garbage, they have some like big garbage machine thing that they have to move through the Utilidor sometimes. I don't know anything about how the garbage system works, but sometimes it'll be moving through Tomorrowland side, and sometimes it'll be moving through the Adventureland side. And they give you a little warning over the speaker system just to make you aware if you're in that area, like watch out for it. And depending on where it is, they kind of play a different song. So if it's moving through Adventureland, they'll play what's it called? The song from Tarzan where they're like banging on all the stuff. It's called like Trash in the Camp or something like that. And if it's moving through the Tomorrowland side, they'll play music from WALL-E, which obviously has trash elements to it. That's about all the information I got. Oh, you can also get a haircut down there. There's like a little salon also by where the changing rooms are. I don't know if it's still open. I don't think it was open anytime I walked past it, but I rarely walked past it. It wasn't really something I was interested in or looking into. So I'm not sure if that's still open, but it was a thing at one point. It still exists. I just don't know if it's, operational right now. That's about all I got for the Utilidor. Nothing crazy. Just a way to get to where you need to go, pretty much.
Or brainwashed.
So, we talked about how there are changing rooms at the entrance to the Utilidor, right? So cast members can change out of costumes or into costumes. And another rumor that I've heard quite a bit, myth that I've heard quite a bit, is that cast members can only wear their costumes at work. They have to change out of their costumes before leaving work, and they have to change into their costumes once they get to work. That way, no Disney people exist outside of Disney World. True or false?
That's false. The rule is you have to take off your name tag before you, go to a store or go to a gas station or leave work. But you don't have to change out of your costume. You can go anywhere in your costume that you need to go after work or before work.
Yeah, I've gotten gas before work all the time. We've gotten Domino's, stopped for Domino's after work because it's the only thing that's open at 1 a.m. when I would get out of work. And when you go in there, right, especially the one that's by Flamingo, it's just all cast members in costume after work picking up pizza.
The Walgreens
the
Starbucks
too,
before people would go to work.
Yeah. And I never changed out of my costume before leaving. I also never changed into my costume at the Utilidor. I always would just get dressed before I would leave my apartment. The only exception to this is if you are going to a Disney park. If you're going to a Disney park, you can't go in costume. So if you're, going to a park before work, or if you're going to a park after work, or if you're just going to the park on your day off, you can't be in costume. That's pretty much it, though. If you're going to the grocery store or something like that, yeah, you're fine. I mean, I've seen tables of people at Applebee's where everyone's in their costume.
Yeah.
I got into a car accident after work one time. I was driving in the left lane. There was a Tesla SUV in the right lane, and he just decided to make a U-turn in the middle of the road right in front of me. So I slammed on the brakes, but I couldn't completely slow down. I T-boned him. And
no one was hurt. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I was going maybe 15 miles an hour when I hit him. And we were in kind of a weird area where no one else was around. So he just kept driving around for a little bit. I was following him. Eventually he pulled over. And I walk out, not even thinking about it, right? Because I'm just like, oh, I just got in a car accident, whatever. I step out of my car and I realize I'm still completely in costume, like name tag on and everything.
Picture this. You hit a car, it's a pirate.
He completely admitted it was his fault. He gave me $500 in cash and we both went on our way. But it's just kind of funny that, like, I step out of my car and I'm just in Pirates of the Caribbean outfit. So yeah, not true. Cast members can drive home in their costumes. They can do errands in their costumes. They don't have to change before they leave work.
Since you worked at Pirates, you're a Pirates expert. Does Johnny Depp really stand in for Jack Sparrow in the scenes?
No. This is a question I was asked at least 6 or 7 times during the 5 months that I worked at Pirates. No. He has never stood in for the animatronics at Disney World. He was in the ride once at Disneyland back in 2017 as a promotion for the new upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean movie. But no, it's not something he does frequently. No, he doesn't just kind of like show up and pop in whenever he feels like it. It's something that happened one time in California as a promotion for the movie. And I bet you he was there for maybe 20-30 minutes and then went home.
Your coordinator walks, hey, Tommy, Johnny's here. Can you go move the animatronic? He's going to step in.
Damn it, again. Such a pain in the ass when Johnny shows up.
Can you just stand outside?
Just throwing off our whole routine. There's that whole stage. We got that whole stage right across. Why doesn't he just hang out over there? So, Kenzie, is it true that there is a hotel room in Cinderella Castle in Magic Kingdom?
So that is true. But you can't just, like, book to stay in that room. You can't go on Disney.go and book Cinderella's suite.
But what if I have lots and lots of money?
Too bad. You can only win your stays there.
What if I have so much money that I buy the entire Disney Corporation?
I guess you make the rules at that point.
Yeah.
But no, just like normal person with lots and lots of money trying to stay there, that's not going to happen. I know recently there was a cast member who won a stay there through Backstage.
Magic Backstage?
Yeah. I was like, I can't remember what it's called.
So he entered like a contest?
Yeah, like a sweepstakes online,
there. Yeah. So that's pretty much the only way you can stay there is you win some sort of contest?
Yeah, you win a contest, basically. That's it.
Gotcha.
Tommy, I've heard that cast members just can't say no to anything that a guest asks. Is that true?
No. I just said no.
Yeah, I got it. You're not a cast member, though, so...
Not anymore. No, that's not true. And that's another thing I've had guests ask me, like, well, you're not allowed to say no, right? I'm like, where did you... No, I can say no.
I'll literally say no to anything you ask me because you said that.
Yeah. Courtesy is one of the 5 keys, right, that you're taught. You have to be courteous to the guests. You treat them respectfully. You're polite. But no, you can say no to them.
You can respectfully say no.
Right. It's not for like, oh, don't you have to always think of a workaround because you're not allowed to say no? No, I can just say no. However, there is one phrase we're really not supposed to say, and it's not that we're not supposed to say it, it's that we're not supposed to, like, only say it, and that's, I don't know. If you don't know something, you're not supposed to just be like, I don't know, sorry. You're supposed to either, go to, find a coworker that might be more knowledgeable about that, or direct them to someone that can help them. Usually, if you're in the parks, that's, like, the guest experience team, so... Whenever I was encountered with something to like, my Fast Pass, my Lightning Lane Genie Plus isn't working, I'm like, see that blue umbrella over there? Go talk to them. Obviously in a nicer way. So yeah, you're not supposed to say, I don't know. Instead, you're supposed to direct them to someone that can help them. But no, you can say no.
Like, if someone's making you uncomfortable, what are you supposed to just go along with it? Like, obviously, you can say no to something.
Yeah. As long as you're nice about it. Did you hear that? Andy's coming! Why aren't you doing anything? Aren't you supposed to, like, drop on the ground?
No, so that one's actually false.
Oh.
At one point, it may have been real. There was like a picture circulating, but yeah, that one's not real.
Definitely not real now, even if it may have been real in the past.
That's such a like safety hazard.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where the internet loves to ruin everything, right?
Yeah.
Something gains a little bit of attention, all of a sudden it's happening 100 times a day. They would
That's just not something that can happen.
They would spend the entire day on the floor.
Actually, that might be nice.
Take a little nap?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, this is not something that will work now. Don't go yelling at Toy Story characters saying that Andy's coming. It may have been some sort of like niche, like inside joke sort of thing in the past where like only a couple people knew about it and they're like, I don't know, but definitely not a thing now.
There is a place where this like is kind of real though. So at Woody's Roundup Barbecue, which is the new restaurant that just opened in Toy Story Land, they have a continuous track playing, and at one point in the track you can hear Andy coming towards the room, and then then it's like Andy's coming and everyone stays still, and then he comes in, he asks like his mom if she's seen something, and then he leaves and everyone goes about their business again.
Who's everyone that stands still?
So like all of the workers that are there, all of the cast members.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like the guests are probably encouraged to do it as well.
So like everyone's just pauses for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Tommy?
Yes.
Are there human remains on Haunted Mansion?
Yes. Well...
What?
No. But
I didn't expect a yes. Sorry.
No. I mean, well, there aren't currently, because they clean them up pretty quickly. But yeah, some people think it's a good idea to like spread grandma on Haunted Mansion.
Well, they asked for more haunts.
No, they said there's room for 1,000. They did not ask for them. Yeah, some people do this. Like, actually, like, way more people than you would think. They think they're being so clever and original, but, like...
It's happening, like, once a day. Please stop.
Yeah, I don't know about once a day, but it happens pretty regularly, where someone's just like, yep, I'm just gonna dump my dead relative on this children's ride.
It's not even a relative, it's just somebody they found.
There is a code for it as well. Like, that's how it happens often enough that there's an entire code word for it. I was looking online and all these like blogs and stuff were calling it like a something cleanup.
HEPA.
I don't know. I've never heard that before. I worked in Adventureland, and Adventureland and Liberty Square are kind of treated as one as far as like the cast member world goes. It's ad lib. So I knew a lot of Haunted Mansion people. A lot of people that I worked with also worked at Haunted Mansion. I was kind of around it a lot. I've never heard that. It's always, we had a code. It was code and then a letter. I want to say, Kenzie, you seem to think it was code A.
I could swear that I've heard, that Max said at one point it was code A.
I think code A is correct. Initially, I thought it was code H, but then I realized that H is the code for when someone takes like a poop on a ride. So it's not that one. I think it probably is code A.
I think it's code A.
But yeah, it's a thing. There's a whole like procedure that Custodial has for cleaning it up.
They bring out the vacuum.
They bring out the vacuum. Yeah, it's real. People do it. Please stop. Like, Grandma's not going to live there forever. She has maybe 10 minutes of fame before she gets hit with the vacuum. So, unless you want your relatives to spend the rest of their lives in a vacuum cleaner, don't do that.
There's plenty of other places on Disney property you can do that.
All right, I got another myth or rumor for you, and this is one that has been kind of more recently popular on TikTok. So I'm kind of delegating this one to you because you are a resident TikTok expert. You post all of our TikToks. Follow our TikTok, link in the description. So you probably know way more about this than I do. What is this about getting a free T-shirt if you wear an inappropriate shirt to the park?
Don't do this.
Why not?
Because at one point it was true. You walk in, like, unaware of the Disney dress code. They will pull you aside, say, hey, you're not within our dress policy. You need to get a T-shirt to wear over top of the shirt that you're currently wearing. And they would give you a voucher to go get a T-shirt. And they do this with other things, too. Like, if you lose your sunglasses on a ride, they'll give you a voucher for that. If your kid vomits on you, they'll give you a voucher for a new shirt. If you lose your, like, you drop your food, they'll give you new food.
Things that, like, it's not their fault that you did this, right? It's not Disney's fault that you lost your sunglasses or that, you know, your kid puked on you, but they want to make your experience better, right? Exactly. They want to make sure you're having a good day, so they'll eat the cost and they'll give you some free something to make up for it.
But with the t-shirt thing, so many people started purposely dressing out of dress code so they could get a free t-shirt. Because it went so viral on, like, TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, that everyone was doing this on purpose. So
it's kind of reflective of humanity as a whole, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, someone's doing some extra kindness, right? Something they have no obligation or no need to do in order to make sure you're having a good day, you're having a good time, and people learn about this and they decide to exploit it to get free
we're taking
things.
Advantage of everything you tried to do nice.
Have to ruin everything. Speaking of internet ruining things, right? Just like the Andy's coming, same thing. But
now you have to buy a t-shirt if you're out of dress code, or they won't allow you to come into the park. So, Tommy, the final question. Is Walt's head frozen in a freezer?
Well, I don't have any proof that it is, but I also don't have any proof that it's not.
So it could be.
It could be, yeah. Totally possible. You know, his body was allegedly cremated when he died.
That doesn't mean his head was.
Facts. And he had a private funeral. Obviously, I mean, you know, there was no open casket because he was just a pile of ashes, allegedly.
It could have been anybody's ashes.
Right. Totally plausible. Not plausible. Totally possible that his head is frozen somewhere.
Do you think it's frozen in the utilidor?
No. They would have no space for his head in the utilidor with all the brainwashing rooms.
That's facts.
Where would they keep it?
That's facts. You're right. Maybe that's what they show the people to help brainwash them.
No, when I was brainwashed... I never wanted
to be brainwashed more in my life.
When I was brainwashed, I didn't see Walt's head.
They brainwashed you?
Yeah, of course.
They didn't brainwash me.
Well, you just worked at a resort. You don't need to be brainwashed to work at a resort. Alright, that's all we got for you. Those were the common Disney myths, Disney rumors that we've heard while we were working at Disney, that we've heard online, and so on. If you have any other common beliefs about Disney World that you are unsure about, you want some more information about, drop in the comments. If you have any other insight about any of the myths or rumors that we discussed, drop that in the comments as well.
Specifically the last one.
Yeah, especially the last one, yeah. We'd love to hear that. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want more Disney content, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.